Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courtney Holub. I'm the Executive Director for WinterKids. Today, I am joined by Marian Doyle, who is our Education Director, as well as Josh Harrington, our Family Programs and Outreach Manager. We're excited to be here with you. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share a quick look at who we are, the challenges that we're addressing, and why this matters for all of us. WinterKids has been serving Maine children for 25 years now. What started as a small initiative to get kids outside in the snow and winter has grown into a statewide movement of outdoor recreation and education. Today, more than 16,000 Maine kids participate yearly in our programs, building healthy habits, confidence, and joy in the outdoors. At our core, WinterKids is about helping children develop healthy, lifelong habits through education and fun outdoor winter activity. We do this by supporting families and educators with resources, programs, and experiences that make outdoor fun, accessible, and welcoming. We all know the barriers that kids are facing: increases in social isolation, more screen time, less physical activity, and for many families, a real lack of access to safe, affordable outdoor play. These challenges have detrimental outcomes for Maine kids. Recent data from Kids Count shows us that over 20% of Maine kids are anxious or depressed, and over 40% of Maine kids are not getting regular exercise, which is leading to a 32% of Maine kids being overweight, which brings on lifelong health and wellness challenges. In Maine, where winters are long, this gap gets even bigger. Too many children are spending the season indoors instead of building resilience, health, and community outside. And this is where our programs come in. Our programs are designed to get kids outside and moving for at least 20 minutes per instance. And that hits the definition of exercise of 20 minutes of movement at least 4 times a week. So, why does outdoor play matter for public health? This isn't just about recreation, it's about public health and education. Kids who play outside are more active, more socially connected, and do better in school. Outdoor play helps prevent chronic illnesses, supports mental health, and builds a sense of belonging that carries into adulthood. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that learning is likely to improve when students are more attentive, less stressed, more self-disciplined, more engaged, and more physically active and fit. Evidence suggests that contact with nature contributes to each of these states in learners. So let's zoom out for a minute. And why does this matter so much? A 2025 study in PLOS 1 showed that outdoor play is linked to higher levels of physical activity and lower sedentary behavior. Both are consistently tied with improved cardiorespiratory fitness, mental wellness, and a reduced risk of obesity in children. Access to green spaces and outdoor environments bring additional benefits, including stronger emotional well-being, sharper cognitive skills, and healthier social development. And that's what's at the heart of our mission: helping kids grow up in community, healthy and thriving through the power of outdoor play. It's whole child and adult well-being. In physical health, this means that kids who are playing outside more are more active, reducing risks for obesity and chronic illness. For mental health, time outdoors reduces stress and anxiety, building resilience and improving focus. In turn, this strengthens social connectivity and enhances educational outcomes. Then when we look at social development, it's found that outdoor education fosters teamwork, problem solving, and stronger peer bonds. All of WinterKids programs, whether they're education or recreation focused, are designed to keep kids moving for a minimum of 20 minutes. overall increasing exercise and physical activity. We know that stronger social connections lessen depression and anxiety, which then in turn support healthier bodies and minds. The science is clear. Outdoor play and learning is essential for raising healthier, happier kids. But research only tells us part of that story. The other part is then how we see this come to life in our work.
We are the Smith School in Waldau County. We are ready for a wild winter here in Winterport.
It's a snow day, all day, the whole day. Come on, y'all. Jumping like frost out to play. Check it out, it's a snow day. We're gonna do it our way. Nothing could be better than a snow day, snow day.
I love those videos so much. These are from the students of the Leroy Smith School in Winterport. They're both from 2023, when they were the gold medal winners of the Winter Games. Now, in order to win the Winter Games, which Marian will talk more in depth about later, you need full school participation. So that meant for this school, 273 pre-K through grade 5 students engaging in at least 80 minutes of outdoor activity for 4 consecutive weeks alongside teachers, administrators, and support staff. And an added highlight of winning the games is a $5,000 cash prize, which in a district that has historically had 50% of free and reduced lunch meals for students is huge. And in their own words, they've shared that a cash prize from WinterKids means that they can take learning to the next level by gaining access to new and creative supplies or working together to find new and creative ways to engage their students in learning every day. They saw WinterKids Winter Games help students gain a bigger appreciation for the importance of healthy choices and movement, especially during those winter months and those 4 weeks of the games. If they won a cash prize, they said they would use it to find ways to help carry this momentum into the remaining months of the school year and years ahead, continuing to find innovative ways to promote student and family engagement. Now, to me, that seems pretty significant. And when I look at these videos, I see much more than the research and the scientific studies. I see kids who had higher attendance rates, who visited the nurse less, and who had less behavior referrals. I see trust, I see joy, collaboration, determination, playfulness, imagination, problem solving, planning. I see community. And this spirit directly carries into recreation programs as well, where the Passport opens doors for families across Maine. Recent feedback from our Passport program tells us that over 60% of Passport holders say that the program has increased their days outside by at least 1 or more. More than 10% of users are using their Passport multiple times a season. Over 40% of them are participating in a WinterKids Family Day, which in and of itself builds a community of about 100 people participating in sport together. Each year, more than 50% of Passport users say they tried a new winter sport for the first time. And in an open-ended response about the best part of using the Passport, more than 16% of users highlighted community, placing it just behind affordability and ahead of variety. That community piece, I think, is the real key here. And this is what the research looks like in real life. Kids gaining confidence, families building habits, communities forming, and educators watching their students thrive. Now, I'd love to hear from you what you see as the biggest barrier to outdoor play or learning within your community. Please go ahead and use the chat function to share. Unsafe conditions. Yep, that's a big one. A lot of people aren't sure how to navigate the outdoors in winter, right? Getting some of that understanding about the gear that you should be using or can be using, how to be safe in icy conditions, unfamiliarity with expensive sports, that's also a big one that we see. And we're really excited to work to addressing that, especially through the program, the passport program, and safety of the community. Yeah, these are all issues that we are addressing at WinterKids. We're changing mindsets, we're removing financial barriers, we're increasing awareness about free resources, we're providing additional support, and we're training teachers on how to bring this to life in real time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Marion, who's our education director, and she's going to talk more about her programs.
Thanks, Courtney. Yeah, I'm Marion Doyle, Education Director, and I am excited to be here and sharing information about the WinterKids Learn Outside Guides initially. So these are the foundation of WinterKids school programs. We have two editions, the elementary edition and the early childhood, which offer tips and ideas and lessons developed by teachers and for teachers. These guides inspire educators to think outside the box, literally. The elementary edition includes lessons for 3 grade spans, K to 2, 3 to 5, and 6 to 8, in subjects ranging from PE and art to math, science, and social studies. Imagine the impact on students learning about friction and its effect on speed by building sleds with different materials on the bottom and then taking them outdoors for time trials. The early childhood edition focuses on our youngest learners and provides teachers with vocabulary lists and conversation prompts connected to each activity, designed to encourage deeper, more meaningful lessons on a variety of topics. Both of these editions are aligned to the main learning, not main learning results, but education standards, main learning results, Common Core, and the preschool MELDs, as they're called. We also offer online trainings. As you can see here, there's a link you could click to see an example of what our online training looks like. It's been a fun project over the recent years, developing these to walk through teachers to get a deeper understanding of the resources, and they can do that at their own pace. So the next slide, Court. Our research showed that teachers who purchased the guide or participated in our in-person trainings felt that the material was valuable, it was age appropriate, it gave the trainings high marks. But what we found, however, was that the teachers were not reaching for the binders once we left the campus. They're so busy, there's so much demand on their times, and it's completely understandable. So what we decided to do 9 years ago was incentivize the use of the WinterKids Learn Outside Guides by developing a fun, active, 4-week-long program that we called the WinterKids Winter Games. Each week has a different theme: physical activity, nutrition, family engagement, and winter celebration or winter carnival. And they offer outdoor lessons and activities designed to get the whole school moving and learning, as Courtney had mentioned briefly before. Lessons from the Learn Outside Guide, along with other fun interactive activities, are included each week. Using a weekly rubric, the schools can score themselves on a number of the activities completed, whether they included non-teaching personnel like the bus drivers or school administration. The collaboration with families and communities is also part of the rubric, and there's several other topics. We deliver a comprehensive toolkit to each of our competitive schools about a month before the games. The WinterKids staff hit the road. We go out all across the state with these fabulous materials that reach every student and teacher in the class in that particular school. So every student gets what we call the WinterKids Playbook. It's a fantastic full color workbook of all the activities that they'll cover for the 4 weeks, and incentives to support the topic of that particular week. For instance, this year's theme for the Winter Games is heart. Students will be learning about heart health and following their heart, the emotional side of heart health. Every student will get a pedometer this year in week 1 or 2, I believe, to track their steps. So that's focusing on the heart health. And there's 3 other incentives that are fun and exciting, and we're thrilled to be able to bring these materials to the schools and teachers that are participating. In 2021, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we developed the Play Along edition, in which any school, any classroom, any homeschool family, rec department could participate. So this allowed more children to get involved, gave greater access to the program, and encouraged outdoor activity at a time when outside really was the safest place to be. I think, yeah, next slide. So the impact of participating in the Winter Games far exceeds students enjoying learning outdoors. The benefits of spending more time outside, particularly during the winter here in Maine, is improved health, both physical and mental, as Courtney mentioned earlier. But it's not just the students who are reaping the benefits of this program. The entire school community is involved. So these same benefits are available to the adults supporting the games. Slide the next one with the Leroy Smith School. So you just saw a couple, you saw that their application video was the first one, and then one of the bee dancing they joined the Winter Games in 2020. They were so enthusiastic. They say, "We put the win in winter," was their first slogan. Loved that. They were led by Principal Dawn Moore, and they loved all aspects of the Winter Games. In fact, they tied in year 1, which is really impressive. That doesn't ordinarily happen. It usually takes a year or 2 for schools to really grasp everything they need to meet that high bar. So we have a tiebreaker, which is kind of fun, in which the school must create a snow principal. You see that slide where Dawn is sitting there next to her snow principal slide, co-part. And yeah, they didn't unfortunately win the games in 2020. It took 3 more years. And another tiebreaker, quite honestly, and then they won the gold medal. However, just to note here, every school that participates in the competitive track for cash prizes wins some amount of money. So all schools get at least some cash incentives at the end of the games for participating. Dawn saw the benefits of being involved in the Winter Games almost immediately. Improved attendance, heightened student engagement, and greater motivation were all really apparent. They're still participating in the play along track because, as Dawn put it so eloquently, and I quote her, combining outdoor play with science education, healthy habits, and resilience building, WinterKids addresses childhood inactivity and counters the winter hibernation mindset. It's sustainable, flexible model, fits school resources, and supports long-term engagement. Thank you, Dawn, because that's exactly what happens. And it's not just in her school, it happens in all the schools that participate. So now I'm going to turn it over to Josh to talk about our recreation programs.
Thank you, Marion. And thank you, everybody. I'm Josh Harrington. I am the Family Programs and Outreach Manager at WinterKids. I mostly manage the WinterKids Passport, and we're going to talk about that right now. Have you guys ever wanted to try skiing or snowboarding, but you really just don't know where to start? Tickets are expensive. The rental equipment can be difficult to track down and find. Instruction on the activity is often very expensive and segmented into time frames, and you got to be in a group. It's very intimidating to go through all those steps to try an activity, spend all that money if you're not even sure that you or your kids are going to like it. And that is the case for so many families in Maine, and that is why WinterKids created the Passport to help reduce those barriers of cost, instruction, and allowing families to really find their new winter passion. The WinterKids Passport is a collection of 90 plus offers from over 60 locations around Maine and New Hampshire, all designed to create opportunities for kids and their families to be active outside. These areas include downhill skiing areas, cross-country skiing and snowshoeing areas, ice rinks, plus we have discounts at ski and snowboard shops and other activities like rock climbing, bowling, and even youth Ninja Warrior gym sessions. showing that the passport is more than just lift tickets. A typical offer through the passport is a free junior admission when accompanied by a paying adult. We do get some discounts on rental equipment and lesson packages, and some locations do not require a paid adult, but that is part of how we're able to support the businesses that support our program. We sell a $40 family membership to the passport that covers an adult and up to 4 additional family members. That could be 4 kids, a spouse and your kids. It could be other people's kids. It's really just a tool to get kids interested and active in the outdoors. So last year, the passport provided an estimated $150,000 in savings, and the average family saved over $100 a year with their membership. We saw nearly 3,000 redemptions last year, which was about 34% of users. We had 1,000 attendees at our WinterKids Family Days, which was our highest participation by families since tracking this data. And a family day were date-specific specials or deals where the whole family gets a great discount on skiing or Nordic skiing or ice skating. You get a free junior. Often it's half off or less on the adult, or more off on the adult tickets, discounted sibling ticket, discounted rental packages. So they are very popular. To have 1,000 people come out to that shows that we are building this community, and you get to also hang out with other WinterKids families, which is pretty fun. Next slide, Courtney. So the support from local businesses and the outdoor industry really can't be understated. Our passport program wouldn't be possible without their generosity. Businesses are free to extend any number of deals to be used at that area. And this is great because businesses could really engage at a level that makes sense for them. There is no cost for the businesses to participate, and we do not pay the businesses to give us an offer. It is just that their support comes from their belief in our programming. Many of these sports areas have been partnered with WinterKids for more than 20 years, and areas were also supportive of the expansion of the passport program in 2018 that grew the program not just for 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, but allowed all juniors to participate. I personally traveled to each one of those dots on the map there to build our relationship with our partners. I love seeing the state of Maine, all the communities, and hearing about what challenges each area is facing and how we can help them. This has made WinterKids synonymous with the greater outdoor winter industry in Maine, and we work to ensure a sustainable future for winter play. So here we can see some quotes from WinterKids Passport families sharing their experiences with the program. We see these as a general theme of responses, that it introduces kids, helps reduce costs, entices folks to explore more areas, and be outside more frequently than they would normally be. And in the graph, we also see recent data showing an average redemption by passport holder age, and you can see a gradual increase as kids get older. 6% of our users use the WinterKids Passport more than 4 times a year, which shows frequent engagement and habit building. The annual survey data also shows that 50% of Passport families try a new winter activity, and that over 60% say the program increases their family's outside time. Through my travels and promotion of WinterKids, I meet parents every single year who tell me that they started skiing or Nordic skiing through the Passport program when they were kids. And now they have kids and they're looking at our WinterKids Passport to get their kids involved too. This really shows the intergenerational habit building that we've been able to build with this program. So how can you apply some of our programming to your own community? Besides promoting our WinterKids Passport, which is a very affordable service, and I'm happy to discount that to families, we offer scholarships dozens of times a year, really no questions asked on that. But you may also have a local Parks and Recs department that offer activities for kids and adults. and sharing that information with your network would be valuable. Parks and Recs offer great programming for kids on a single day and multi-week basis. And a real pro for a lot of parents is that you don't have to do it as a family. You could do it as a family, but we understand that there's work and other life things that get in the way. And the Parks and Recs departments have that built-in oversight and structure right there, so you can just have your kids having a good time. WinterKids also has a list of businesses that offer free winter activities for the entire family. From cross-country skiing and snowshoeing to ice skating, there are several locations around Maine that have public access to their trails and ponds. And we've put together a list on our website and in our passport program with those resources. And sometimes the limitation can be equipment. There are several gear libraries around Maine that offer affordable equipment rentals and leases. And again, we put those together on a collection. You can see here on our Passport Partners page. You could click on any one of those and learn more about what they offer. Not through the Passport program. It doesn't require a membership. These are just free public resources that we've collected to inform families on how to keep their family active. So WinterKids also has dozens of free activities that can be done with little to no equipment on our blog page. These can be done as a family or a classroom or in the office space. Many of them are kid focused, but can be adapted to be done as adults since we're really all kids at heart. Some of the sample activities are shared here, and our suggestions revolve around STEM, nutrition, nature-based activities combining our education and outdoor expertise. These ideas might help your family during the next snow day, and I certainly encourage you to take a look when you can. So, what will you take back from this presentation to integrate into your own community? I'd love to hear some thoughts in the chat, and we can just take a couple of minutes to do that. We can certainly circle back around to this at the end, give you guys a little bit more time to think about it. Yeah, a lot of it is, just the knowledge of the programs. I'm always surprised. I've been doing this is going to be my 7th year. I'm always surprised at how many parents at either a ski area or an ice rink just have never heard of WinterKids. We've been doing this for 25 years and it's still about, 50-50 whether or not they either hear about us and love us or have never heard about us. So yes. Yep. In Massachusetts specifically, there is not a passport program currently. So there's I would say there are programs, but they're done on a local community level and not a statewide level like we have here in Maine. Awesome. Keep throwing those thoughts in the chat. We're going to look at all of them. I want to thank you for your feedback. Marion's going to take a few minutes to talk about our alignment with public health. And Marion?
Thanks, Josh. I want to talk for a little bit about why the collaboration matters. Wow. Sorry about that. Collaboration with schools, families, and communities. All right. Let's just rewind for 1 second and we'll start again. With the Winter Games in particular on these collaborations, we encourage connections beyond the classroom. Because the program incorporates the school and families and surrounding community, students feel supported well beyond the classroom. With so much negative news, and I'm not going to go into it all here, but you know what it looks like when you watch the news or read the paper. There's a lot of negativities. But schools involved with the Winter Games really benefit from positive news media stories, highlighting the games and reminding the greater community of its shared commitment to healthy, active living. These slides show that our commitment to schools and communities over the years allow the program to grow. Many schools return year after year. So will they play along again next year? Absolutely. We find this again and again. Most of our schools, in fact, last year, more than half of our competitive track participants had competed in the games before. Schools, child cares, rec departments, they all believe in us and they know they can trust WinterKids. We've worked really hard. I've been at WinterKids for 20 years. I've been doing this a long time. And I don't just stop in a community, wave hi, drop a book, and never to be seen again. We're really focused on building those relationships year after year. So people know they can trust WinterKids. Ask people in your community, like Josh just said, ask people in your community about WinterKids, and more often than not, you'll hear, we love WinterKids. A lot of times they don't even know exactly what we do. They know the passport, or they're starting to understand that we're in schools, but they know they love us. We're happy, we're positive, we're making a difference in communities all over the state. Some tips for building trust are, quite honestly, show up. Do what you say you're going to do, or do more than you said you were going to do. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Follow up. I can't say that enough. Emails, phone calls. I know a lot of us don't use phones, but I'm the one that will answer the phone in the WinterKids office 9 times out of 10. Most of the times I don't regret it. It's really worth it to speak to the folks that are looking for us. So really take the time to reach out again, either via email or text or whatever is you're most comfortable with, and continue that line of communication. And I always say at the end of a training or when I'm out there in the public, I love positive feedback, makes me feel so good. It's just the best, right? Like when people tell you how great you are. But honestly, the thing that makes the impact that allows us to change programs and develop them into something more meaningful is when things aren't quite right. So we can take a look at that information and make changes that will benefit the program and therefore our constituents, our teachers, our kids. We're a trusted name because we continue to show up and we deliver quality program that the community can rely on. That's the bottom line. So with that, Courtney, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks, Marion. So as we think back to what we've discussed today, the science, the data, the experiences, and the joy, there's a few things that I see start to emerge for us. Outdoor play is essential for health and learning. We know that kids who are playing outside are more active, they're less stressed, and they're more engaged in schools. We also know that outdoor play supports physical, mental, and social well-being. WinterKids programs work because of our commitment to community. We're a small staff, but we're on the ground delivering these programs. We all have an incredible passion for this work and have built trust within various communities across the entire state. Our programs are affordable, they're accessible, and we build an awareness in the community. And we address this all through tools like the Passport, the Winter Games, and the Learn Outside Guide. Local partnerships with schools, businesses, gear libraries, parks and recs, and more make outdoor play more possible for all families in our state. We know that the research and the real stories show that this works. The data proves that outdoor learning and play improves health and educational outcomes and builds lifelong habits. We know that the stories from schools and communities and families all show that there is a sense of belonging, joy, and a confidence in growing together. These ideas are easy to implement. We have a lot of low cost or no cost adaptable activities like scavenger hunts, play breaks, playlists, and a number of these items can be used anywhere. We know that once participants have engaged in one of our programs, they are encouraged by our team and supported to bring the entire model back to their own communities. We also believe that and see that collaboration is really what is building our sustainability. We see strong outcomes happen when schools, families, communities, and local businesses are all working together and engaged with one another, really listening and learning from one another. We see that building trust and partnerships ensure that outdoor play remains accessible year after year for these kids. So every community has an opportunity to create more chances for kids to get outside. The question isn't if outdoor play matters, it's how you're going to make outdoor play possible this year. Thank you for your time. We're going to move into some questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. If anyone has questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat, or if you prefer to ask them yourself, you're welcome to unmute yourself. I just wanted to start off by asking, if communities or schools are looking to increase the level of youth participating in outdoor activities, what's an easy way that they can start to set some of those things up? I think it could maybe be a daunting task to do a whole lot at once, but what are the first things that you find are successful?
I can jump in here. The first thing I would suggest is, and I'm talking specifically for winter activity, although much of our material can be used year round and adapted. Sign up for the play along edition of the WinterKids Winter Games. Whether you're a rec department, whether you're a mom with a homeschool children or a dad, whether you're a childcare, we have early childhood adaptations for this. The WinterKids Winter Games at the play along edition is an easy entry level to get some great tips on physical health and mental health and outdoor activities, and you're part of a community. You'll see it on Facebook and on our other social channels. You'll see some fun things. There's 5 prizes to be won, and it's an easy entry level to learn about us. Also, check that blog. Go to winterkids.org. Look at our events calendar and look at the blog. Both of those places you'll see opportunities where we're in a community, coming to a community. Even if you're not a skier, you want to show up at Mount Abram when Josh is over there, he'll talk to you about WinterKids and what you can do. He's great out there on the mountain. He loves his people. So, you won't be disappointed by meeting him when you're out there in the world. I don't know if anybody do. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, just to piggyback off of that, to Paige's question there, specifically with, the play along book through the Winter Games, that can be done anywhere, Paige. It is not specific to a state. The really only state specific program that we offer is the Passport. You can be a Massachusetts family, but the offers that we provide are in Maine. So that's really the only sort of stipulation with any of our programs. And again, any family from any state can participate. It's just that our opportunities are in Maine. But specifically with the play along, even the learn outside guide, even those are more teacher oriented, all of that is not, it could be done in any state and really can be done across different seasons, as Marion was saying.
Yeah.
Paige, do you run a program or of some sort that is with families?
Hi, I am currently learning to be a community health worker. And so
Oh,
this
great.
speaks greatly to the teaching and what I would like to do. I am actually in the process of doing a project to bring something to a community. And I feel like this speaks to something that my partner and I were already discussing. And maybe if we switch gears and go in this direction, or utilize what we're already doing and combine it. It's more of like summer type stuff, not winter type stuff. I don't know. I don't want to take up too much air, but
No.
I
Well,
appreciate you
you're welcome
asking.
to. Our email addresses are available on the website if you have specific questions, or we could help you, just send us a note. We'll be happy to talk to you. Good luck with that. I think that's a great idea.
We didn't touch on it in this presentation, but another event that we host to engage specifically new audience, the Maine's new audience to winter, is our Welcome to Winter event, which we host. It's a free community winter carnival that we bring in a Nordic group that brings Nordic skis and snowshoes. We bring in other third-party active businesses that will be there. They're there for free, really just to promote their activities to a local audience. And while creating an event is not easy, it is one of our ways of just engaging with a new audience of Mainers and kind of give them some thoughts and tips on how to get involved with winter activities. So not saying that could be done in every community, but you could host a night. You could host, it doesn't have to be a full event. It could just be a couple hours of information to get folks, connected with the resources that are available in your community.
And Paige, I just want to say one more thing. We're a staff of 6 people. We reach over 50,000 students, children, parents, families every year, individuals. We know these people. And so it is possible for a small team to do big things and make a larger impact. So I support your efforts.
And another question for you, if people want to get involved in some of the activities that are happening, is there an easy way to do that? For example, if someone wants to volunteer to help teach skiing or come to an event or do some sort of guide in their community, what can they do for that?
Yeah, we post our volunteer opportunities online. We have a volunteer form on our webpage where you can submit any information about yourself and what you're interested in. We often look for volunteers to help out at events, to prepare the Winter Games materials, to get those ready to go out to schools, and to be ambassadors in our community. The team is physically located in more of a southern Maine region, and so we're always looking for boots on the ground and building a real great spokesperson in various other counties in Maine, and other areas that we're not necessarily always in.
Daryl, I just want to say you mentioned you like the holistic approach, and that is that's a conscious effort that we make. Our mission is to create healthy habits, lifelong habits. And so we want to start with our youngest children and keep the theme of outdoor activity, and all the benefits of it. It's very mindful that we do that. So thanks for recognizing that. We like it too.
Carrie, you asked what's one of the easier ways for people to do something in their own community, with little to no resource. And something that we offer, it is free. We do collect a security deposit, but we do have a free snowshoe and story walk loan program. So folks can sign up. We have 2 books printed on outside signage that gets put into the ground. And it could literally be done anywhere, in a backyard, in a school, in a Parks and Recs department. And if you guys have snow, we have snowshoes that can be rented as well. If not, you could just walk along, and just getting the kids outside thinking, well, let's go read a book. They're thinking they're going to be sitting around a circle, sitting for half an hour, but you take them outside, it just gets the kids excited about doing something that they've already used to do, but just in a new way. And that for us is one of the easiest baseline ways to get kids outside is a story walk. Um, and just because we have ours printed on outside signage doesn't mean that you can't do this on your own. You could literally photocopy a book, throw it in some laminating paper and put it out on trees out in the schoolyard or the backyard and just have a story and just go walk around with the kids. Um, Marion said we also, there's a lot of things on our blog, activities to do in your own backyard that are so simple, but it's getting the kids excited about looking at nature and getting them involved with, and excited about being outside there and learning stuff. So, it could be anything from just finding sticks and leaves and making something out of it, or one of our favorite ones in the wintertime is a icy sun catcher, where you literally just take a plate full of water and put stuff in it, throw it in the freezer or leave it outside, and then you can hang it. So these are all things that are on the blog that take little to no resource that just get your kids thinking about the outside in a new creative way.
On that note, Josh, I might also include that our Learn Outside guides, both the elementary and the early childhood edition, have some great tips. So those can be purchased also through our website, and you can get some information there about that and great tips. They not only contain lessons, but they also, both editions have like a how to set this up. How do you look at your outdoor space? What can you do to make it more friendly for outdoor education and activities? So it's simple things like stringing lights up, like the holiday the white lights can make your backyard so much more inviting that you want to be out there when it's 4 o'clock and dark, because sadly, folks, that is going to happen. So, but you can extend your time outdoors by doing something as simple as that. We're full of great ideas. Reach out. That's all I'm going to say. Courtney,
Yeah.
take it away.
No, you said it. I think, take a look at our website. There's a lot of great resources there. The Learn Outside guide, as Marion said, is a really great entry point for teachers and even parents or community members, program managers. It's a low cost to access the guide, and it has all the lessons that you or could want or need. And like Marion said, they are designed for winter, but most can be adapted for all seasons. Even that sun catcher that Josh talked about, you can put that in the freezer if it's not below 32 outside. And yeah, take a look at our website, reach out. We are always here and looking for ways to help people fall in love with the outdoors and get their kids out there and reaping all the benefits that it has to offer.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We have some fun, we some great social media posts.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for coming. This was wonderful. And one last thing, I just wanted to see if each of you would share what your favorite winter activity is, if you have a personal favorite.
My personal favorite is Nordic skiing, like real bushwhacking, sort of backcountry, yeah, cross country skiing.
I'd have to go with just straight up downhill skiing. I got 80 days in last year. It's something I live for. So, that's the king for me.
Yeah. I would have said running, winter running, if you asked me this time last year. But then last year I was able to find a used piece of equipment that allows me to tow my kids behind me Nordic skiing, and that has become a new favorite of ours. I think really because my kids get donuts when we do it is why they like it, but I really enjoy it. It's easy for us to do in our community. We've got a great public access space for it, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Honestly, anything outside with the kids in the winter is a blast.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
My personal favorite, I would have to say probably cross country skiing. I grew up cross country skiing, and so I think it's something that I've just always thought is fun way to be outside, and you can make it can be as exciting or as calm as you want it to be, depending on where you're
Exactly.
Yeah,
going with your
exactly.
skiing. So it's nice, nice way to get people out and can match the pace depending on what people are interested in. And it sounds like there's some other people that shared in the chat their favorites as well, which is great. And Kathleen asked about a certificate of attendance. If you'd like a certificate of attendance, you're welcome to send me an email after this. And Paige says, sharing time with loved ones while sipping on hot apple cider and eating apple cider donuts, which I love. Sometimes being outside is just being outside the first step, whether that's, going skiing or just enjoying sitting by a fire and some snacks. Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.